Went to go share the feed just now and didn't even like hide. Like usually I squat and kind of get in the corner somewhere. Oh yeah, showing them standing over my body looting. You're right there by that tent and stuff. You're there in those houses. So I'm telling you, if you get over there quick, you might have a chance to kill the guy.
Yep, that's where we're at right now.
Yep.
Oh, you got me.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he? I don't think a smile just brings smiles when you see it. I think a smile can bring a smile when you hear it. Write that down.
And then they hand you that slick phone that feels the proper weight in your hand, and it's all just like,
Oh yeah, I love that podcast. Tomorrow, that dude Ryan is gonna be getting his nipples waxed. They're gonna be talking about that. He loses the competition. It's good.
I forgot they don't know how many of us there are. They're only hearing.
Oh, we're gonna have.
Price started.
Yeah,
It says just land on this beach right here, so.
yeah.
Do that, bro. You got it.
Yeah.
You can even land on that island that's out there. Don't hit us, though.
Yeah, oh my god. Oh my god.
Bro, clean.
That was not clean.
Bro, clean.
That's the worst helicopter land ever.
No, the worst would be to die or wreck, but that's the
Okay.
first time. And
Second worst, okay.
I think that was considered a wreck.
How do I
You're
shut this
smoking.
off?
I now have a +2. Baby girl is doing good. Annalise Marie is now physically on the earth.
It's our new daddy, Hunter Venable.
I'm back.
You know what's a good one?
What?
Having Hunter back.
It is.
Makes me feel complete.
And Ryan's a new daddy. New
Oh yeah. Yep. Little Juniper, she has arrived. You can tell she's like, no, I'm not. I don't want to catch the baby for one. I'm definitely not letting Dad catch the baby without a doctor. I had to give her the elbow, bro. I pushed her a little bit and I was like, I'm catching the baby. I put a wager in. Loser's got to wax his nipples. Not the whole thing, just the nipples.
I'm here with my daughter, Claire. She stayed up extra late just so she could watch some nipples.
Usually see from like here up, and from there up I kind of look like.
Okay, my other one is
but I'm not.
Fall Guys news.
Oh, it is warm. That's
What about it?
Oh,
I don't want to say because we got listeners.
Well, I have one too, so text me.
Oh, yeah.
Yellow? Does that mean anything to you?
Second.
Oh, no. I know what you're doing, but I'm not doing that one.
Okay. So we're on the same page on two different stories. We kind of bounce off each other. That'll work well.
Yeah.
Like we did it on purpose, guys.
Yeah, see?
Like we're some We've kind of been staying professionals.
with the Google Stadia, and every time I say Google Stadia or I say Stadia,
Now we're just waiting on
or I say
Mr.
I don't
Clint
know what it is
to bump
Clint
this up in the
interrupts me and says,
Discord.
"If you've been
Oh, it's in
listening to
there.
the shows," he
I'm
said,
sorry.
It's Stadia.
Forgive
I know
me.
what it is.
It's
And he delivered the video when he got back,
No,
so I feel
remember
kind
you
of
said Stadia.
double douche
But I
down.
researched it.
That one.
We'll have to go back and check.
We went to MiracleCon 2019.
But we're still starting late, so we still blame
I'm the
you.
Vice President of MiracleCon.
I'm Johnny Weaver. I'm an esports tournament specialist for all the big boys.
It's a good excuse.
This is a work of art. You know, I used to get tired. Now I live.
I watched this video and I started thinking, man, I miss
So it's kinda like
my
playing-
gosh,
it's
some of
like
these
playing
games.
darts.
We haven't played Dead by
Turds
Daylight in
stick
a
to
while.
the
We haven't
Velcro,
played
guys.
Grand Theft
a lot of
Auto
people are
5.
liking it. A lot of people liking it more than Fortnite.
A lot of fun.
And
Oh,
we've
played good
got
times.
Johnny Icy Chiller Weaver. He is an esports tournament specialist.
Actually, I blame my.
Oh, I want to try all kinds of games that I'm
because when
not
I was
usually
7
that
years
great at.
old, they,
Like, how much
jacked
better am
me
I
up
gonna
on
be at
Mountain Dew
Overwatch?
and Honey Roasted
Or
peanuts.
even
It's a
I did
blockbuster.
pretty good on
Donkey
what's it
Kong
called?
Championship. It was who can get the most bananas.
The new game we
Five.
just started
Later
playing. Just drew a
on,
blank on it.
you became a part
Valorant.
of Major League
I did decent on
Gaming.
Valorant.
I played
so
on the circuits for 13
about to be a
years.
beast
I
on there.
retired, and now I work behind the scenes.
I'm saying.
Hey, Mick, you're going down, son.
That's slapping. Thanks to one of our satisfied listeners.
World War Z
Help
has
hook me
some
up with a
moments
gaming
that
PC.
are an
You
utter
know what I mean?
blast.
So
Thank you.
the
You know who
excuses
you
are
know who
rolling
you
out.
is.
I get it. Okay.
Nice. I like it. I just do it because I drink too much water.
EA stands for Electronics Arts. I never knew.
We're here with
Josh,
Matt
just so you
Stowe.
know,
He
man,
is a
I
game
see you're in the
developer
stream.
for Happy Cow
Last time I
Games.
talked to you, I was
Just
having to return my
recently,
PC
released
you know,
Dust in
because I was just
Space.
getting it to test my skill level, but I needed the money for other things because of real life adult stuff that's going on because we're delirious dads. But I had somebody step in and say, Ryan,
How's it going, big dog?
I want to see
Any
the
food on you or
DDG team
anything like
succeed,
that?
so I'm gonna help you with that
What'd you
computer.
That's powerful. That's powerful.
Oh, you know English. Oh, okay, I'm gonna shut this door then. Did you hear me say they're here?
Oh yeah, he pulled his knife out.
Oh, now I want to play DayZ. Jeez.
Got him.
Yes.
Got him. Get him.
Come
All
on,
right, I'm
stop
outta
this video, man.
You got me.
It's like almost
Got it.
getting me teary-eyed a little
Get
bit.
your
Like I'm a
t-shirt.
little bit
You're a little bit festive.
reminiscent.
Always.
Like when you
Always
made the
winning
highlight reel, we were
t-shirts,
still
baby.
playing those games. So it was a good highlight reel. Now it's like a nostalgic reel. You know what I mean?
Boom. There it is.
It's crazy how much time's gone by
One.
and how things switch around.
Black Heavy Utility Vans.
Yeah,
there
this
you
is-
go.
When we made this video, bro, it was
Christmas
like
came early, boys.
Corona free.
Oh, okay.
Why does Hunter get
That's
this?
true.
That's where it was
Jeez.
whenever I worked the car.
Remember the Christmas special, baby?
Oh yeah, I was securely placed
Looking
in my
like
home.
a T-shirt for
Everything.
you. Hunter's car looks like doo-doo sauce compared to
rough.
this Christmas.
This is where Hunter, this is where Hunter gets pissed and shoots me.
Whoa, dog! What are you doing?
Hey, hold
So I was talking bad about his car.
Anywhere where
Yeah,
five
because
minutes
you
around, there.
won that car that
That's
I
it.
wanted.
Stay delirious.
Maybe.
Hey,
Stay daddy.
hey, I just had an idea while
Yeah.
watching this. When we release these kind of highlight reels, we should do a commentary and release it live. That would be awesome.
Oh
I'd
yeah,
have a lot of
like a watch back. That'd be
Yeah,
fun.
definitely,
that'd be good.
definitely.
All right, let's get it going, boys. Here we go. Delirious Dad's Gaming Podcast, episode 79. This episode of the Delirious Dad's Gaming Podcast is brought to you by Click Gaming, a freelance esports tournament company based out of Oklahoma. If you're located in the U.S. and need esports services, this is the ultimate gaming company for you. Contact Johnny Weaver at icychiller@att.net. That's icychiller, ICYCHILLER. Tonight on the Delirious Dad's Gaming Podcast.
1 million retweets.
Fall Guys and Fallouts.
Don't hate the chaos, accept it.
And now, the Delirious Dad's Gaming Podcast.
And hello again, everyone. Welcome to the Delirious Dad's Gaming Podcast, episode 79. I'm here with Ryan Maddox.
Oh yeah, loud and proud and almost weighing under 300 pounds.
Ooh. We're also here with that suave-looking dude down below. And I'm talking about the screen, ladies and gentlemen. Hunter Venable.
What's
He does
going
look
on,
good.
guys?
I like your background again tonight. Always impressive.
Thank you, thank you.
Yep, you're looking
I
good.
try.
You're looking suave. Yeah,
I need to trim this up. See myself in the camera. It's like, dang, you letting
So
yourself go.
Yeah.
I have a, not really a bet, but like a deal going on with my cousin. We're not supposed to shave our beards for a year.
Whoa.
Oh.
So, I mean, we can,
Trim it and shape it a little bit.
yeah, we can shape it and make it not look goofy, but
But you got to let it keep growing lengthwise pretty
Yes.
much.
I just realized Claire stole one of my remotes. Sorry,
Uh-oh.
guys.
I was thinking I'm going to leave mine through Christmas season, probably through No Shave November. I'll trim up my stash. I'm going to let this
Okay.
kind of grow out.
I just thought, I'm having to wear a mask all the time. Why shave? You know,
Yeah.
at work, anytime I'm with a patient or anybody, I'm just looking, raggedy. So,
is that like 3 months of facial hair that you got right there?
nah, not quite. Like I'm
That's what I was going to say. Why shave? Look in the mirror. What do you mean, why shave?
I mean, I got pretty good goatee, chin hair down here.
Yeah, I mean, mine's patchy too. Hunter's looks like a real man. I've got the patchy Indian hair coming out. You know what I mean?
Apache
I've even
beard.
got a line of hair. You guys can almost see it here. It just goes down. You see that? It's just one little coming from my eye to my beard. What the freak is that?
I don't know. All I know is I'm starting to get the old salt and pepper on the old, what do you call it? The freaking, what do you call it? The,
Pubes?
no, wow.
No.
No, not the pubes. That's jacked up, bro. That's just dirty. That's Dirt Dog City. No.
Salt and pepper on the what then? What are you talking about, bro?
Yeah.
I'm talking about on the beard. So
Okay, well,
Wow.
that took a long time for you to get beard out.
Yeah, that's literally what we were talking about.
literally,
Literally, all you
cut-
had to say is, "I got
No.
salt and pepper on mine."
he
and
said
you would've
he
been
said
good.
pubes, and then all of a sudden I became infatuated on my own. Is what happened there. But we're gonna move on.
All right, let's move on.
In other news, Ryan has a gaming PC that he now owns.
Yes,
I'm
it's
proud.
not a
of
rental.
Yeah.
It's not a Walmart rental.
So we wanna give a shout out to one of our listeners who stepped up and helped the right guy out. So we
Oh, yeah.
appreciate it, bro. You know who you is.
Not even just a listener, but a supporter.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
He's
that's
a
true.
supporter of what we do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
He or she. Sorry.
no, you're good. Tonight we're gonna do some gaming news, and I'm not doing it. I'm giving the reins over to Ryan and Hunter and letting them take you on a journey through the gaming world. And I don't know, it's kind of had a fall effect to it, you know. And then I'm covering. Speaking of fall, I'm covering Fall Guys tips and tricks. I'm kind of wondering if this should just be called Delirious Dad's Fall Guys episode. With all the news that Fall Guys is starting to get, certainly seems that way.
They're basically like a video that goes viral, but they're a game.
Yep.
And they're just kind of going viral.
Yep.
Hey, I know I ask this sometimes, but
Am I coming in hot?
yes, Hunter, does he not sound that way to you? Kind of.
He asks this every episode.
Only the last few weeks.
It doesn't sound like you're super loud in my ears, but I do kind of feel like there's a little crackly there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Not just super loud. It just sounds a little processed, maybe something. I know it's going to bug you later, so I want to make sure and tell you. I think you're a little.
Yeah, I appreciate
Maybe
it.
just it's probably
so
just your
hot.
game a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, we're good.
Okay.
All right, so I think that's all we got to cover in the beginning. But guys, for those of you out there, if you want to support the podcast, you can check us out over on Patreon. If you want to send money our way for the podcast, that'll help support the podcast. If not, we want to just ask you to go over to your social media accounts and share us with your friends, whether it's on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Primarily, usually Facebook and Twitter works best. Those are the
And just so
bigger
you guys
platforms.
know, any of the Patreons that give to us and stuff like that, and new ones who are thinking about it, none of that money goes to us. All that money goes back into the podcast, goes into production, goes into
Marketing,
helping,
all
maybe
that
in the future it'll go to us, but for now it just goes into marketing, giveaways, stuff like that. Yep.
Definitely. So with that said, guys, we appreciate the support you have given us, and we hope that you enjoy tonight's episode and you just keep on this journey with us. We love all of you. So we just want to thank you for that. And with that said, guys, let's hit the gaming news. Wrong video! Leads for Geeks! You're good, guys.
What's good? It's news time.
Yeah.
Ryan, are you want me to go first? You want to
No.
go first, bro?
I'll go first.
Right.
I'm going to start off with let's just talk about some of the new stuff that's coming out right now. And simply, all I'm talking about is one thing, okay? And that's called Black Ops Cold War. It says it's official, okay? It's been inspired by actual events, guys.
Real events, like world events?
Yes.
Okay.
Call of Duty Warzone may have somewhat overshadowed the rest of the Call of Duty franchise right now with the Battle Royale racking up 75 million downloads as of this month. But, of course, the Activision also wants to develop a new flagship Call of Duty campaign, and the name has just been revealed. We just told you, Black Ops Cold War.
Right.
Of course, we talked about that on new developments. We're going to continue to see Warzone as their staple for Battle Royale. So you're going to see probably a new map, new integration, and these kind of things that are coming from the new iterations of regular multiplayer and campaign Call of Duties and then that'll be established back in Warzone. And so with no matter what Call of Duty you download, like so when you guys download Cold War, you're gonna get Warzone with it, just like when you download Modern Warfare, you get Warzone with it, and that's how that's gonna go. Looks like from here on out, and they're gonna keep building Warzone. Same way Fortnite doesn't release another Fortnite, right? They just do seasons and different things, maps and all that, and that's the same thing we're gonna see here. It says according to the official YouTube teaser. You can watch it above if you want to. Well, I say that you're listening. I'm saying that's what the article's saying. They've got video out on YouTube or wherever you want to look it up. You can see it. It says, which leaves with many, many, many questions, which is why we're not playing it because it doesn't really give you much. Primarily, one, what does the game actually look like? We've got no clue. It's not really a clear video in that sense. It's more like, this is what we're bringing, and that's it. It doesn't reveal anything. It says, is it a next gen, or are we going to see it on this gen? How does one properly punctuate the game's name? Which is very interesting. Are we going to put two, little dots between Cold War and Black Ops, or is it just one thing all the way across? Because you see it two different ways in the video,
right?
Which is kind of not important, but if you're into marketing like I am,
bugs you a little bit.
Yeah, you usually stick to one thing.
BOCW, right?
What? Yeah,
BOCW.
BOCW. Yeah, that's true.
Well, they're going off that Black Ops name, right? So they want to make sure this is the Black Ops era.
But it's not Black Ops 1, 2, 3, 4 necessarily. So you don't necessarily. They don't know if they're going to separate the name. That's basically what they're saying.
Yeah,
it does. It does tell us that they promise the game will be inspired by actual events and features a real speech by a real KGB defector. Okay.
Oh wow.
And it'll help illustrate its point. They got a video of, I think, the speech that it's going to be in the game.
Okay. So is this like a portrayal of, hey, this is what could have happened? Is that the gist we're getting? Because from the video, everything looks like it's from the past.
No, I don't think it's what could have happened. It's what happened. You're playing out a real scenario
in their universe, but they're mixing it with our real history,
right?
In our timeline, yeah. It's kind of like if this would have happened, this would be your reality. This happened in the world of Call of Duty, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yep. It says in here a couple of you got a couple articles about real life CIA field are filed away in its reading library. So they've taken some stuff from CIA files to help influence the game. Let's see if there's anything else that's real telling. And it says players may play or interact with an alleged Soviet spy codenamed Perseus. Even this is pulled from the CIA files as possibly this is all kind of like real stuff that really happened that they're pulling over into the game, which is different for Call of Duty. We've never seen that.
Right.
Of course, they've got. I'm sure they're not telling the same story exactly. That's what Clint's saying. They're going to take these real things and implement them into their own story that makes for a good game.
Yeah, their own reality.
Yeah. But it does sound pretty sweet. Does sound interesting. We don't have much more info on it right now. But now that I'm kind of sucked back into Call of Duty, I'm sure I'm going to check this game out too because it's gonna be connected with Warzone, which right now we're in love with.
Right. And it doesn't really matter for us because like you're saying, Warzone's free. So guys, even if we pass on Black Ops, we can still get into it. So that's the beauty of it all.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, and Black Ops, though, the game itself, they've been pretty successful with the Black Ops in this series. Most players like the Black Ops more than most of all the other Call of Duties. So I'm excited to see what they do with this new one.
Now, do we think with this Warzone thing, because this seems to be kind of their I don't want to say MMO style thing, but they're definitely their kind of like GTA has GTA Online. This is going to be kind of their bread and butter now. Obviously, if they come out with a game that takes place in the past, like we go back to World War II again, right, or something like that, do they stick with do they port over World War II and just change everything? This goes back to kind of what we were talking before. Is it going to be a current update every time, or is it going to be, hey, pick which version you want? You want Black Ops, Cold War, or do you want Modern Warfare, or do you want this? These different versions. I don't know that the article I read last time specified that actually.
Well, it does say right here that it says, let's see here, know your history. There's a tagline on here that says, know your history or you'll be doomed to repeat it. And the YouTube description mentions the name Verdansk, which just so happens, of course, to be the Warzone primary map. And it's featured in Modern Warfare. But they're already kind of building a tie to it. So will they have maybe not a new map, maybe Verdansk with different stuff on it? You know what I'm saying? To make it feel more old school. They're definitely not going to bring, the Cold War guns and equipment in with all the modern stuff. That's not a Call of Duty mistake they wouldn't make. You know what I'm saying? So I think they're going to completely have a separate thing that you can play. I don't think they're going to get rid of what we have either, right? Because not everybody wants to play that. They don't want to just play that old school style. So I think they're going to have both. That's my opinion. But
I was saying that's going to be the tricky part to it, is replacing all these weapons. If you're doing these different modes, you almost either have to go with the new or just stick with the old. I don't think you can.
In my mind, it's like with the multiplayer, at least you keep the guns that they've already integrated into the game, the ones that they've already developed, and then you just have new maps.
Right, but
even if the maps are older, time scale, whatever. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, because what if you're playing this version of Black Ops that you really love this gun and this equipment, and then you go to play the map for Warzone and you're like, oh, I can't use any of my Black Ops guns.
Now I don't think that's going to happen.
So
I'm going to put my claim on it right here. You're going to go into Warzone, and when it says trios, it's going to say trios Cold War or trios Modern Warfare, and you're going to click on that. And it's going to bring you into its own separate thing with separate classes that you've built for that specific set.
I can see that.
I think it's going to happen.
Okay. Now here's a question:
I can't see it going any other way. It'd be a big mistake.
When it gets big enough, do they go battle royale randoms, where like you get randomly put on different maps? Because then your game strategies change. And
I'm sure you can. I'm sure you'd be able to pick random just like you would on multiplayer, right? Select a couple things that you want. Boom, you click let's play, and it throws you in and rotates you, which would be freaking a big new step in the battle royale thing, right? I mean, you don't have that option right now. You're just playing a map. If you get to the point to where they're actually keeping up with 3 or 4 different maps that are that big and massive with all that going on, love it. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Okay.
Very cool.
A lot of speculation here, folks.
Well, I may have some news to back your speculation up.
Ooh, really?
Oh, really?
Okay.
Really?
Yes.
I like this. It's almost like we rehearsed it, guys, but we did not. This is a live show.
So, an article came out today as of August 19th at, it says 12:18 p.m., that a Call of Duty Warzone player have found a nuke hidden in one of the bunkers on the map. So some players believe that this could lead to major map changes by detonating it somewhere in Verdansk. And there is a video out anywhere you can find a gaming video. You can find a video of Noah J456. He's the one that got into this last bunker and found it.
Okay.
And so him and his buddies found it. It says some Call of Duty Warzone streamers received crates earlier this month. This is kind of how they found out how to get in these bunkers, right?
Okay.
They included old projectors and images that led them on a wild goose chase across the map. It's a puzzle that grabbed the attention of the entire Warzone community. The crates led to the discoveries of pawntakespawn.com, where an image of a VHS player showed various codes throughout the week. The codes let players open bunkers across the map, which contained rare loot and this missile of mass destruction.
We talked about all that stuff a long time ago.
So is that okay? So here's a question: is that like one of the sheds I ran into recently, where it had remember we were playing and I was trying to get in that shed, And there's
Yeah,
a
and
key
you said I
code.
think I might need that red card.
No, I think that's a
Yeah.
little different. It may be, but the ones that I've seen are actually like bunkers. They're like big concrete walls.
Okay. I
Yeah,
know
we've
what you're
been
talking
down
about.
in them before. Yep.
And then they
And
got
they-
those. Yeah, they have like the locks on them.
Gotcha.
And so you actually have to enter in a digit code to get into those.
Okay.
So
Killed plenty of people
and-
down in there, bro.
yeah,
Mhm.
Plenty of people.
you enter it by shooting the numbers on the key or the, what do you call that, number face or whatever.
That's
Number
some
pad, right?
that's some
Keypad.
that's some GoldenEye 007 right there.
Mm-hmm.
Call of Duty Warzone map changes have been small over the course of its first 5 seasons. A loot train and interior areas for the stadium and train station were added at the beginning of August when
Mhm.
Season 4 ended.
Mm.
Season 5 doesn't end until September 28th, so maybe we'll see a bigger map change happen mid-season.
Okay.
A lot of players believe that this nuke will level the entire map and make way for the new Call of Duty Cold War.
Right. But I don't see him getting rid of this one. You get
No,
what I'm
and
saying?
I agree with that. I think that, like you said, is a mistake because you got so many kids who've worked up and all that
Right.
stuff.
Maybe it's just an event that's going to happen, and then the other one will be available type thing.
I mean, they could do the whole Fortnite thing and just the nuke is the thing that changes everything in the game, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So some are speculating that this is making a way for that game. Others think that we're just gonna create change in one part of the map, maybe making like a Chernobyl-like location. Because Chernobyl has had some, in the old Call of Duty Modern Warfare, has had some locations in the story mode and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think those are both good speculations. Now, if you want to go try this out for yourself, the code to the bunker was revealed and is shown. The code is 60274513, and that bunker is Bunker 11.
Okay.
So you do some research and find where Bunker 11 is on the map. It actually looks like it's on the coast right by the park area where they have that weird structure. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's a little bit, I don't know the direction. It's kind of over there by the prison, but it's on the coast, and that's where you find the bunker on the beach. That's Bunker 11, and if you enter the code 60274513 by shooting it into the keypad, you will get to go down there and see that missile. So
nice.
Should try that out, boys.
For sure.
So who knows? Is this going to usher us into the Cold War? We'll see.
I don't know. I think it's cool.
As long as it's not the Corona War, you know.
I think I'm super pumped about this because, like, I remember, like Ryan said, in I don't know how long ago that was, when I was doing one of the Easter eggs for pulling my legs. We talked about this afterwards, that I thought that it was going to richen and be a part of the story. And so I'm really pumped that they did that. You know, it's not just some random Easter egg or funny laugh that they put in these bunkers that nobody can get into. And that people are looking for codes and stuff like that. So super cool. And I give it applause to Call of Duty for getting so much deeper in their games now.
Now, Josh in the chat says that he says that's the thing. They've probably been planning this for a while, and we'll have what's that? BO as a companion.
Black Ops
as a companion.
As a campaign.
With its own map.
Campaign.
Yeah.
Bops.
Are you sure that's what he means?
I didn't even read it.
It says as a companion on mine. With its own map similar to Verdansk.
Oh yeah,
and work
Warfare,
simultaneously
Warzone.
within
Yeah, I'm sure.
Call of Duty Black Ops cohesion. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep, I think that's.
Well, that's it for that one. I'm pumped about that. I hope they do. You know, I hope it's not just aesthetics. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, I hope they didn't just make all these bunkers look sweet and they had the loot down there. I'm hoping that it is going to tie. But with all the codes and like the secret decoding of it, it's got to be something bigger than just
for sure.
Cool bunkers with extra loot, you know.
If anything, it makes you really happy to know that there's a future. There's a future for this game mode, and they've definitely thought it out. Like, hey, we're gonna take this to the next level, and you know, I want them to fix the glitches because I know that's kind of frustrating for people. But I think once they get a handle on that kind of stuff, we're going to be in for a treat from here on out.
Well, I've got some news from Fall Guys, which Clint's going to be talking about later. He's going to be giving you some tips and tricks. I haven't had a chance to try it yet because it wasn't worth trying with the lag I used to have, but it'll be worth trying now. And so I'm sure we'll get on that and have some fun soon. The one of the heads of Fall Guys had been hearing all these people complaining, and I hadn't heard about this, but I guess everybody, it's been real popular tweets and in videos and stuff like that, is basically everybody's blaming the yellow team for everything. Meaning, for some reason, when you are the yellow team in any kind of team game, whether it be fall ball, egg scramble, or anything where they say where you've got the golden tent, they're calling that the yellow team.
Mhm.
You lose. Everybody's saying, "Man, we always lose." It's like if I were yellow team, it's over.
Do you know what's funny? I completely agree with that.
Yeah,
I've played some
I
Fall
was
Guys
about to
lately,
say, I won with blue
and I
team.
feel like every time, I'm the yellow, I lose.
That's funny. I guess everybody's been complaining about that, just
It's
going crazy,
hilarious.
horribly mad about it, saying, "Get rid of the yellow team." Well, they came out and said, "No, we've got internal stats and we can keep track, and yellow team has the exact same stats as blue and these other teams. So you guys are imagining this. We can check it. It's not something that it's very verifiable. It's not guesswork. Yellow team is not cursed. It's in your head. And so if you're losing, it's your fault type thing.
That's just the red car effect, right? You think of a red car, and then all of a sudden you see red cars everywhere.
Right. Yeah. I knew a guy that was all into the, what do you call it, Illuminati. And he said every car, they always send red and white cars after you. And I said, you do know that white car is the number one color for cars and red is number 3, right? So as soon as you're thinking that, he said, bro, just drive down the road. You'll see sometimes it'll be red car, white car, red car, white car. And I'm like, yep, that's because they're popular, not because they're following.
Yeah.
He was very serious. If you're listening, man, I love you, but I'm sorry.
That's some theorist stuff.
Oh yeah,
sure.
Anywho, it got enough traction. People freaking out about this yellow team. Kill the yellow team. Buffer the team. Whatever, like we're playing Call of Duty or something like that. And so finally, he put a tweet out, said, "Hey, if I get 1 million retweets on this, yellow team's gone."
No,
kill him.
No,
yep.
He did it.
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
and right now, well, this was today. He did this yesterday. He's already at 200,000 tweets, 1 million retweets. He said he did it as a joke, but he said at the rate it's going, it might actually get there. If it does, I mean, Twitter has spoken. Can't really do much about it, can I? So he's saying he will delete the yellow team if he has to.
Some game designers back there just cussing him, just pissed.
Yeah.
All this
they'll
work,
just change
the color. Yeah,
change the coding. Yeah,
do it orange.
Yeah, but he said, there's never been a tweet that's ever gotten 1 million retweets. So rightfully so, if they break records, they'll listen to the fans basically.
Yeah,
so
that's amazing.
Hey, I like how these game developers are getting involved with the fan base.
Yeah, interacting and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I do too.
That's like Rogue Company last week whenever they challenged Dr. Disrespect to make him a map because he was talking. I think he was talking some smack about their maps or critiquing them or something. They were like, "All right, make us one,"
right?
Because they knew he had game design experience from back in the day with Call of Duty and stuff.
That's awesome, man. I do like that too. I love it when they're interactive.
Well, we see with these games that constantly update and they're continuing type games, that's just the future. That's what's happening. They got to listen to the fans and make adjustments, listen to the fans. Now, problem is they have to make sure they listen to the majority, right? Not the loudest, because there's always a lot of crybabies in every industry. And just because there's 10% who you hear who are loud, they have to take their time and go, I'm not going to adjust it for this 10% that's loud, right? And then, basically they're influencing the community. We need to find out what's the real deal and what are people really thinking about this,
Right.
Obviously, he's doing this this is just kind of a publicity thing and it's working. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but on real issues, it's definitely got to take your time, make those decisions smart. But that's where everything's going.
Yeah, that's kind of the complaint of like streamers. People talk about streamers getting the special treatment or getting a say in things more than the regular player base sometimes.
Right. Yep. That's all I've got for that one.
Very cool. Well, have you guys ever been playing Rocket League? and just thought to yourself, man, I want to play Fall Guys right now too.
Back on Fall Guys. Okay.
That happens to me all the time. So, here we go. Ryan, we're just teaming up today to bring the news.
I got to pause you. I'm so excited because you mentioned Rocket League, and that was one of the games where I think the lag drove me the most crazy. And so now I really have to go try Rocket League and see if I'm any good. Okay, go ahead.
So there's a Fall Guys mini game that has been made into Rocket League.
Really?
The Fall Guys mini game Slime Climb has been remade in Rocket League. The professional Rocket League player Lethemir, I think that's how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
I probably butchered that.
Hey, it's better than we could do.
Lethemir is apparently a big fan of Fall Guys, as he's taken the time to meticulously recreate the Slime Climb minigame in Rocket League. And then if you watch he's released a video on Twitter. If you watch that video, you can see that Lethamir's Slime Climb remake is still in a work in progress, with plans to add moving platforms and obstacles, as well as tumbling Rocket League soccer balls.
Nice. Sweet.
But the final version won't have Rocket League's boost option enabled, so that it feels more like a Fall Guy challenge, because right now you can just kind of boost all over that map. It says Lethamir used Blender to model the environments and Unreal Development Kit to build and import the Rocket League workshop map. He's still unsure of how everything will come together in the end, like the slippery floors and the spinning hammers, but he says the next update should have moving platforms in working order.
Nice.
Okay.
It seems like the first project is moving at an efficient pace, as it was only a week ago that Lethamir first revealed the project in its very early stages on Twitter, with just a design of the map grayscaled, and it said coming soon. But now we've already got a playable map, so
nice.
Okay.
It's coming along at a good rate. The developer did a great job scaling the Rocket League cars so that 60 players could conceivably travel on the map at one time, right? So it's not like they can travel up the ramps and fit, which is pretty impressive.
Right. It's got to be wide enough and all that.
Yeah.
Right. All that's crazy. 60 cars.
Yes. Yeah, and it says with at least the same amount of casualties as a typical Fall Guy round. Regardless, it's definitely a project we'll be keeping an eye on for further updates. So it looks like from the feedback, this guy is doing an excellent job.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. And so also what it sounds like is he's got the map laid out, he's got the colors, right, and everything looking great.
I wonder if he's including yellow team.
He's trying to put the moving parts together. So
nice. Theirs would be orange team. That's
right.
No, true.
Orange and blue.
So that's two. I mean, what Fall Guys? I think we announced it 2 weeks ago. So
Fall Guys has multiple teams, right? Like 4 different teams, 4 different colors, something like that.
Yeah, 3 or 4 teams usually, depending depending on the type of game you're playing.
Okay.
Really, I've only seen 3 personally, and that's gold, blue, and red.
There's blue.
Is that right?
There's blue,
gold, blue, or yellow, blue, and red, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because I think that would make sense the way the number would work. You're gonna have a better chance of getting an even number,
right,
or a matching number. Yeah. I don't know team things for me, which we'll talk about in the tips and tricks. I'm not a big team player, but maybe it'd be different if we were all in a party together and we went and joined a game.
Yeah, but no, that can be infuriating. I was talking to one of my friends that was ever watching me play the other day. It's like you try so hard on the individual races to get to the end, and then your team can completely blow it for you on a ridiculously silly game, and it just kind of frustrates you.
Yeah. Oh, so even if you make it as an individual,
the
team,
so there's levels.
The team game, your team's got to win.
Yeah. So you can
as a team, or just one member has to make it through.
No, because there's different things. Like, listen, there's a race. Usually, like the races where you got to make it to the end is a single, but then you'll have like a mini soccer game as and like you're on a team, and so the other team will score the highest, and then your whole team will be eliminated because they won.
Oh no!
So it's like you can do really good and then get to that team round, and then I've even played some where you don't even get a team round. Like it's just all individual ones till the end.
I think
it's
randomized. It bases those off how many players come into the lobby before the game starts. Because sometimes you don't start off with 60. It may just put 40 in there, you know?
Plus eliminations. There's some that, are like everybody could get eliminated in one round.
It makes sense that at a game like that would be doing really well because you've got a lot of games on the phone that are kind of like that. Maybe you're just directing like a little ball, right? And there's stage after stage of different obstacles that you got to bob and weave through. There's that one with the balloon that was real popular years ago, and I think it's called Rise Up. Remember, and the balloon would go up. You'd have to make sure and knock the stuff out of the way as it's going.
Good old Flappy Bird. Those are good examples.
Flappy Bird.
Those kind of games, have done well in the past. So to take that and kind of go with the bigger platform of that game is a good idea for a game maker.
And I saw an article that was talking about how it said the name of the article was Fall Guys, Nothing Matters. And that's absolutely brilliant. It's like you're just playing level by level on that, seeing how far you can get. It doesn't matter. Like it's even like Fortnite, for instance, you buy the skins and whatever, and it doesn't do anything to help you, right?
Right.
But it still feels like there's an accomplishment there of like, I have to get this skin or that skin. And they do have skins of Fall Guys, but still, it just feels like it's like, whatever, dude. I don't really,
Right. But it's still
playing this stuff fun. Yeah.
I did hear they're doing a special fundraising outfit, though.
Really?
They've hit it so big. Yeah, they're going to do like a special fundraiser. So.
Is it going to be a germ and it's a fundraiser for the coronavirus battle? Or
No, I don't think it's that. Unfortunately, it'd be nice to have some Fall Guys in there fighting for us.
Yeah.
That it's funny that title name just makes me think of like a mafia game, right? Fall Guys. Who's the Fall Guy?
Yeah, I had no idea what it was when you first brought it up.
Yeah,
Fall Guys. Yeah,
it's the total opposite of what you think.
I've got one more story, but we're good on time right now, Clint. I wasn't paying attention at all.
You're fine, brother.
I know you hate it when I ask that, but I try to be mindful, and sometimes I lose track.
No, you're doing
I don't know if you guys have been paying attention at all to the debacle with Apple and Fortnite. Yes, no.
I've heard there was a rift in the partnership.
Yes. Okay. So it has escalated. I'll give you guys a quick breakdown of what happened in the beginning, because really we don't know right now, if that makes sense. So Apple said that Fortnite had violated its in-app payment guidelines. Okay. And removed them from the Play Store, from the Apple Play Store completely. Yeah. So it was kind of a big move out of nowhere, and Epic was like, what the freak? So they did not remove the players who still have the game, right? So the people who already have the game get to keep the game, but you can't go buy the game and join now on Apple. That's it for you.
Ooh, dirty.
Right. So what's worse about that is they have disconnected Epic's ability to give any kind of updates because it's not in the Play Store anymore, right? So these people don't get any. They get no new seasons. They get no new essential updates. They get nothing. They're done.
So the mobile app is dead on iPhone right now, basically.
Yes. Well, there's still a lot of players, a lot of them, and so Epic kind of went out in kind of like the way these new people are doing stuff. You know what I mean? Epic's a big company, but they've really only gone big recently. So they just play ball a little bit differently. Anyways, Epic responded by rolling out a big social media campaign with the hashtag Free Fortnite. This was against.
I remember seeing this hashtag, but I didn't really know the details. So I'm glad you're discussing that here.
Yeah, and this was against them. Okay, they also went even further to urge players to seek refunds from Apple because they lost access to a game and they had paid for things in that game, right?
No.
And it is not Epic's fault that they're not supporting it. It's Apple's fault that they're not supporting it. So they said you need to seek refunds from Apple, and they have by the droves. Everybody's calling Apple saying, "Hey, you screwed us." You know what I mean? And then
Apple's not the golden goose anymore. Always
And
trying
then-
to change their platforms.
and then
Separate.
a little bit further.
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah, they created a parody of Apple's famous 1984 television ad
Wow.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
for Fortnite. I should have had you pull up that video. You can pull it up if you want to. I'll be talking about this for just a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
And it's set. It's a good video.
Now,
Anywho,
what's the name of it? Just Fortnite Apple's 1992?
1980 Fortnite.
1980 Fortnite. Okay. I'll look it up. Give me just a sec, folks.
Yeah. Okay. What we're talking about right now is basically the fact that all of this, they basically did all this going, hey, let us back on. We need to figure out what we're doing. They also filed a lawsuit against them. Obviously, they're not just doing this campaign. They filed a lawsuit saying, hey, we didn't violate any rights. Or we didn't violate any of your terms. You're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And so you need to put our game back on, basically. So now they're in a lawsuit. It's not a minor thing, right? Problem is Apple is huge. Okay.
Oh yeah.
In small news, Apple just now this month became the first company to ever become worth $2 trillion ever. So yes, they have the money. Okay. Anywho, Epic has pulled all these triggers on a company that big, and now it is not good. And when I say it's not good, I mean it's really not good. Okay.
Wait. Before you get into the meat, do we want to do there's a comparison video of the two? Or do you just want the Apple trailer or the trailer itself?
Why don't you play the comparison? Let's see that.
Okay.
I'll be like side by side.
Yeah, you guys just want to watch the video, talk about it a little quick before I jump into this meat here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, guys. Give me just a sec to pull it up here. What was it? Yeah. Here we go.
All I know is, Epic's kind of ballsy here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Okay, here we
It'd
go.
be different if you're going head-to-head against a company of your own.
Oh
Should be
my
up there.
god.
In exchange, we have taken our tribute,
Wow.
our profits, our control.
That's pretty
This
amazing.
power is ours and ours alone. We shall prevail.
Oh, yeah, it's not kind of like it.
Oh, it's
It's
exactly like it.
Oh,
Man,
my gosh.
that
Okay,
is
now,
good.
listen, guys, it's okay to go head-to-head. I would go head-to-head like this with another company of close to the same size. Does that make sense? Epic is big in the gaming world. They're nothing compared to Apple.
That's like
If
a
you've ever
Rottweiler picking a fight with a T-Rex.
Yes, if you've ever watched Shark Tank, you hear what's his name, O'Reilly or O'Mani, whatever his name is, the bald guy. He'll always say, "You're doing what? You're trying to get into this industry? Oh, this company and this company are going to squish you like the cockroach you are," because they'll just put in the money and just wash you out, right? I mean, it can happen. So, anyways, they pulled all these triggers on them, and Apple said no in a big way. So Apple is retaliating furiously, to put it in the same terms that the Epic head said. And not only have they removed that app from the store, it's now taken further movements, which is huge in the sense of Apple has cut off access to development tools for them. So we're talking about not just Fortnite, right? Because they only violated Fortnite, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now they have blocked Epic from using any of their optimizing tools for Unreal Engine, right? And anybody who's using Unreal Engine is also blocked from using Apple's optimization tools, which means anything that's produced with Unreal Engine, which is tons of stuff. I mean, Unreal Engine, we think Fortnite is big. Unreal Engine is just as big. I mean, for game developers and stuff like that. That's the easiest and fastest and smoothest developing program that everybody's using right now, and that's why we've brought it up in the news multiple times on the show.
Right.
So basically, Apple for free or a small fee if you're a small company, they have all these tools set up so you can use these tools within Unreal Engine to optimize your app so you can put it on Apple iStore or whatever it's called, right?
Yeah.
Well, now they're saying no, you can't. For anything that's Epic or Unreal Engine, you're not using the tools.
Wow.
So you can't even make an app for Apple if you're connected to Epic in any way. We're talking about, this is probably close to half of their business. You know what I'm saying? This is not a small thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's literally, this is something that will just end Fortnite, end Epic. They'll go bankruptcy. You know what I mean? I mean, it's that big of a move that Apple's making. They're not going to survive without that other side of their business. And Apple knows it, and they've got all the money to do, they can stay in litigation forever, right?
Yeah.
And just crush them because they just keep appealing and keep, you know what I'm saying? That's what happens. They take you to court and they crush you like the cockroach you are. And it's funny to say Epic's a cockroach, but they are compared to Apple. So this is kind of scary. So now Apple has Epic has retaliated with another lawsuit, which essentially is a restraining order within the corporate world. So they're filing a restraining order against Apple. This restraining order is basically saying, hey, Apple cannot do anything to us on anything outside of the game that they say we infringed on the terms and conditions, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
This is because, and specifically, their injunction against Apple now that's trying to stop them or put a restraining order on them is because they recognize that this is a what's the term they say here? This is an existential threat, meaning we will cease to exist. That's how big this threat is. They can completely bury us, and there are legal ramifications for companies to not just be able to crush anybody they want to, like monopolies. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they're saying, hey, this is such a big threat that they're trying to wipe us out over the fact that we think they took us out, and they know in court we're going to win, so they're trying to kill us before we can. That's basically what they're saying. In court, we're going to win because we didn't violate any of their rights, and they should be putting Epic back on, or they should be putting Fortnite back on, and they're not. So now that they see we're going to win, they say, we don't care if you win, we're just going to end your entire business. That's what Apple's doing.
Mm.
And so they're saying, hey, that's illegal. You can't just end my business with no real reason, right? It's just kind of a grudge, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. We made a commercial.
That hurt your feelings.
Yeah, but that's not, we're talking about tons and tons of people that are going to be out of business and out of a job and all that. So basically, they're filing this restraining order to it's basically a cease and desist. It's not a decision on the original case. It's a judge saying, no, during the proceedings, you cannot do anything to them outside of this one thing you're doing until it's decided. That's what they're trying to push for now. I don't see that they've got an answer yet. But that's a pretty that's a pretty big deal, guys.
But then,
so you don't think that Rottweiler can take down that T-Rex then?
No, I don't.
But here's the thing. Now
not if the T-Rex is able to play without gloves, you know what I mean, or teeth guards.
Yeah, but will people get pissed enough to fight back against the T-Rex?
No, but I do think a fair judge is going to say, yeah, hey, we see exactly what you're doing, Apple. You never had any problem with anybody using the Unreal Engine before in accessing your tools. You never had any problem with Epic and any of their other games because they've got a lot more than just this one. You know what I mean? And now that you have this one issue and they're taking you to court over it instead of just bending over, you're trying to shut down their entire business. There are laws against that. You know what I mean? It is we are a capitalist country, but you're talking about two people that essentially are not even in the same. They're not competitors. You get what I'm saying? So Apple is just using their power and weight and throwing it around, which only shows you, this one's out in the open because Fortnite threw it out in the open. They let their balls hang out in the wind. You get what I'm saying? But companies like this, like Apple, do this to companies all the time, and you just never know it, right?
Yeah, they're not big enough to make a big enough stink about it,
right?
Or to be followed.
like glasses. There's, usually it's with competitors though. It's not outside of your own realm most of the time. It's with somebody who's going to take something that you're going to make money on. Which is interesting because Apple makes money with Epic. Because of Epic, Apple makes a lot of money. So it's definitely just kind of a butthurt thing. I think it's a weird thing to see in a company that big. But you've got companies like, glasses company. Everybody has all these glasses, right? From Oakley's to Ray-Ban to whatever. You name the brand, there's only one company that owns them. A lot of people don't know that. There's one company that owns all of those. You see these little small companies come up and they start doing well. And what that company does, and I think they're called like Visync or something like that, the name of that company. And what they do is they go in. This is how they acquired Oakley. They went in and they just made all their glasses that are any kind of competitor with Oakley dirt cheap, 80% off. Until Oakley was going to go out of business, right? Because they couldn't sell anymore because the competitor's so cheap. And they do that for, in a company that size, it just takes a couple months. A couple months of your revenue being gone, and then they come in and buy you out for nothing. They just force you to sell. And that's what they do every time, over and over. And so, there's been people trying to sue them for a long time for anti-monopoly laws.
That's kind of what happened in the pro wrestling business back in the day when you had Vince McMahon was running WWF at the time in the 80s when we're talking Hulk and them. And into the 90s, he struck a deal with TNT, which is Turner Broadcasting. That. Well, then Turner Broadcasting turned around later on. Ted Turner decided, I want to get in the wrestling business. So he buys NWA and turns it into World Championship Wrestling, which is WCW, which was the big, that was the Monday Night Wars during the 90s that took off, right? So then they fight it out. Well, Vince eventually beats Turner, but there was like some dirty tactics going back and forth. They came in and bought guys out from under Vince, literally about put him bankrupt. He was like having to sell like equipment, they were like bare bones there in the mid 90s, but and then later on he ends up winning and buys Turner out because eventually it was just one of them deals. Turner didn't have his hands on it enough, but it's an example of someone that was powerful, a lot of money. Hey, I want to buy this and get into this and try to take it.
It's over. Weird because you think hey, I'm never going to sell out to my competition. The guy I've been battling this whole time, and then I'm going to sell him my company. No way. Yeah, you will, because nobody else will buy it. There isn't anybody, so you're just going to go under and be screwed. If you sell it, you at least have a chance to try another adventure, right?
What's funny is I think how he ended up winning it too was that Turner had the AT&T merger, and AT&T didn't want to be a part of the wrestling business anymore.
Oh, okay.
And they were already kind of going downhill, and so Vince ended up buying WCW. He bought them out. They went bankrupt. They were going bankrupt. There was some other people trying to buy them. Vince just kind of swooped in, bought it super cheap. We're talking 20% what it was worth, what it would have been worth, right?
That's what they do. Yep, that's what they do.
And then that was it. So it's crazy to see these two big titans, these two big companies. But like you said, it's interesting because they're completely different realms of
you're
what
gonna
they're
start seeing you're gonna start seeing Android ads in their game play, and then sign in with Android and then prove you have an Android phone and you'll get 1,500 V-Bucks.
Oh,
hey man, they could, but you're still. That's what I'm saying. They can only do that for so long, and if Apple does enough to them, they can crush them. That's the difference when you've got that kind of pull. It's like saying, hey, we're gonna, we're a shipping company, or let's just say I'm just a product company, but I'm gonna go head to head with Amazon. You're done.
Yeah, it's over.
You're not gonna go head to head with Amazon. But it does at least give him some rights. If he was a direct competitor, he couldn't file this, I don't think, the way he's filing it and saying, because it's different. It's competition. Right. So hopefully it works. Hopefully they put a cease and desist and restraining order on Apple and, put the mouth guard on that T-Rex, and we'll see what happens. But I don't think people that aren't paying attention to this realize you're talking about literally Epic might go under. That's the kind of level of, you know what I mean? And so, kind of scary. Of course, they probably won't go under. Somebody like Apple will probably just buy them. I mean, that's probably what would happen then.
Yep.
So,
or Activision just comes in, hey, competition, we'd like to just take you in and we'll make you Call of Duty Fortnite, baby.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
That's great.
Do you have another news, Hunter, or that was the end of it?
I don't. Yeah, I just got one little extra, but I don't need to do it. I mean, I think we're rolling along at a good
At a good
time
pace.
here, probably to switch over to clean tone.
Okay, well, I can do that, guys. We're going to hit you
I'm
with
ready for some tips and tricks, baby.
You ready for that? All right, let's do it. Switch over to the video right now.
In a world of Easter eggs and cheats, it's time for what they don't want you to know.
All right,
I got to
guys.
tell you that little transition screen, that little video you got going with the animation, looking slick, man.
It's looking
like
real
that?
nice.
Looking super professional.
I'll tell you my
I'm
secret
loving
here in a little bit. Thank you.
I know what your secret is. I don't care. It's good.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, bro.
I have no idea what your secret is because I'm not good at any of that stuff. So
That's all right. You just keep sitting over there looking like Tom Cruise. That's
Yeah,
what
you're bringing in the female side of our listenership.
yeah, that's what we pay you for, Hunter. Tom
he
Cruise.
doesn't mean it. He doesn't mean it, Natalie.
Or those men who like
I
Like
men.
got a
Tom-
ring on my finger, guys. I got a ring on my finger.
I mean, I think Tom Cruise is good looking. I'll say it. I'll say it live right now. Loud and
Oh,
proud.
me too. That was never in question. I was just
No,
I think Tom Cruise is like a 7. He's not rugged enough. Like he seems a little bit like he always
I know.
he plays in action movies, but he's a little too sissy
I
for
know
me.
exactly what you're talking about. It's not sissy. It's pretty.
Here's the thing, though.
I need some Brad Pitt. I need a little rugged. You know
Then
what I
you,
mean?
then you get
Brad
into
Pitt.
Scientology, and all of a sudden, I don't really trust him.
Right. Oh yeah.
You know?
See?
Gerard Butler.
Yeah. He just
Those
dropped to
guys.
6. Yeah. Gerard Butler. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I would.
no
I,
homo.
Hardy.
I would say Russell Crowe, but that guy got bloated, so he's looking like us
He
now.
did. He did.
So
People tell me I look like Russell Crowe sometimes, and I don't see it. But I
Now
have
that
like,
you just said it, I see it. Shut
Yeah.
up.
yeah, if you dyed your hair a
Dang.
little darker, boom,
Yep.
Russell Crowe all
Yep.
the way. All right, but I don't know how we got onto this. This is tips and tricks, guys. We're
Yeah,
keeping
with
it real
Russell Crowe.
with Russell Crowe. So we're bringing tips and tricks on the Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. This game has taken everything by storm. You know, I feel like we see something good and we're like, oh man, we could really grow off of this. And then boom, every major streamer just hops all over it. And it's like, well, I guess we can get a scrap, maybe a wishbone if we're lucky.
It's
You
the
know?
game.
But yeah, it's looking good. I played it on PlayStation 4. I'm loving it. I definitely want to get it on PC just so we can all play together and stream it, especially now that we got Ryan over there on the gaming PC. I think it would be good. Plus, I don't know, is there we need to check and see what the party limit is.
Hey, I think I just heard some of the listeners go, you know, how are you guys the Delirious Dads Gaming and one of your guys doesn't have a gaming PC? You skip the dad's part of that title. Delirious Dads Gaming. That's how I don't have a gaming PC.
Right.
All right. Go on.
No, you're good. So, guys, we're going to start here with tips and tricks. I'm going to go over the article I looked at is 100 tips. I don't think I'm going to be able to cover all 100. We'll be
for
here
this
all.
game,
Jeez.
for the simple game that I was just talking about.
Yes. So, I'm not going to hit every one of them because that's just monotonous. So, we're just going to hit some of the big ones. We'll talk a little bit about each map, and I will try to reference it best that I can. I do want to cover, though, Justin in the chat did mention Tim the Tapman had over 400,000 people watching him on stream today.
Really?
He's been on this quest since the game came out to get a win. He just wanted one win, get a crown. That's what you got to do is get the crown. That's how you win it. And he has not been able to do it until today. And he had 400,000 people rooting him on, laughing at him.
Wow.
Having a
There's
blast.
a lot of people.
Yeah. Some people in the chat were all salty about it. He's faking, bro. Either way, it was entertaining. Shut up. That's what I say.
How do you fake it? What do you mean? He made a video ahead of time?
They were saying he was purposely like making himself fall or, you know, acting like, I can't get it kind of thing.
I got you. Yeah.
I don't know though, man. Sometimes platformers, it's just like shooters and everything else. It's the style of game definitely affects how good you are. I just, you know, if you can't put Dr. Disrespect in World of Warcraft, I know I say this game every week, but you can't put him in a game like that and think he's going to succeed like he would in a shooter. So, anywho.
So have you guys gotten a win, or it's got to be a hard game. Right?
Oh, I made it right to the crown, and then some douchebag jumped on my head and got it.
Nice.
Well, it was like very close. So anyway, the game's fun though. I'm a fan.
I've only come very close to tasting glory.
Well, one day we will, and we should do it together. All right, so here we go, guys. Top tricks for Fallout guys. Now, if you guys haven't been listening to the last couple podcasts.
It's just called Fall Guys. It's not Fallout Guys.
Oh, I did say Fallout guys, didn't I? Fallout. That's a good game. Actually, it actually made me think of Green Day. I don't know why. When you said that, I thought of Green Day. Anyway.
Hey, Clint, I'm going to interrupt you one more time, man. Your background looks sweet. You know, I was telling Hunter that his looks good, and I saw yours with your new lighting back there and your new lights on your face that it just brings out those tones, man. You're looking sexy. I got to tell you.
Oh, thank you.
It is look good.
Now I just need to lose weight and we'll be perfect, you know?
Yeah.
Be at a perfect 10. Right now I'm sitting at a 9.5. I get it. So, if you guys haven't been listening to the podcast recently, we've been talking about Fall Guys. I don't know why I keep trying to say Fallout Guys. Fall Guys. It's a 60-man battle royale game. You play these little bean dudes, or I don't know. They look like hot tamales, you know?
Yeah, jelly beans.
Little jelly beans. Anyway, you play as these characters. You go through mazes. There's obstacles. You have races. You have soccer games. There's one where you got to grab a tail off the enemy players. You know, all this crazy stuff. So we're just going to break it down for you. So here we go. So through each round, as we said, it's different, requiring different tactics to qualify. There are a couple universal tips that we're going to cover first. Okay. First thing being, chaos always wins. I said in the beginning of the podcast, embrace the chaos. It's a bit of a grand statement, but it does ring true. Like an unexpected chance time in Mario Party or playing Smash Bros. With items on, you'll need to expect the unexpected. Fall Guys is a party game, and so anything can happen at a party. So you're going to play the game. You need to try to use the chaos sometimes to your advantage. And almost every type of round, clusters of players are always bad news. In certain situations, if you go the road less traveled, you're going to do better in the game. So just be aware of what's going on around you. Sometimes you get tunnel vision on these kind of games, and it ends up screwing you. It also says here, before you spend time showboating at the goal line or taunting, you can taunt and grab other players, things like that. They do say you want to pay attention to the placing, because that's going to affect how many points you're going to earn overall in the episode. They also say never underestimate another player's ability to ruin your day. Not everyone is committed to being a jerk, but you should suspect anyone near you being capable of grabbing you at the worst possible time, so don't give them that chance. And then lastly, on their general tips, this is by IGN, by the way, guys. I didn't shout them out.
So if you guys haven't played the game, this is happening. I only thought it was obstacles. I know probably everybody's played the game, but I haven't. I guess some dads out there probably haven't. I thought it was just obstacles. What Clint's saying is, no, your competitors take you out too.
Yeah,
and that's something you need to be aware of and watching out for during the whole game.
So the last and final general tip is, they say never give up. He says this may seem obvious, but there are many times when it looks like there's no chance to qualify, but pushing onward anyway may just reward you. If people in front of you should slip up at the last minute. So as we mentioned earlier, Clint, did you win? No. I messed up at the end. The guy jumped over me and got the crown. Boom. You know, and I thought I had it. I was playing the safe, cautious, you know, jump up and get it, you know, and then that guy's like, nope. Toe to the face.
One of the first games I watched of this was Markiplier, and he was playing with his friends. And he got to the very end where, like, the exact same thing you're talking about, the crown one, right?
Yeah.
And he forgot that you're supposed to grab it. So the dude literally jumped, and he touched the crown first, but he went right through it because he didn't grab it. He hit it and fell back on his back and lost.
Now, do you have to grab it, right? Like, you have to hit the grab button when you get to it? Yeah. That's tough.
It's funny because it backtracked, because it always shows the rules right before you start a round, right?
Tip number one,
he read it. He said, push, RT, I think, or whatever he was playing to
Right.
grab. And then literally gets up there and he flunked it. And then he goes, "You're supposed to grab it? I didn't know that," or something like that. And then it replayed the video of him saying, "Grab it." It was hilarious.
Grab it. Oh, that's funny. Now we're going to kind of break down the maps. We'll go through them pretty quickly. The first one is Dizzy Heights. This is often one of the first rounds you'll compete in during the episode. It is important for you guys to know there's usually about 4 to 5 rounds or episodes that you're going to play in the matchup. That depends on how many you have in the group. Same thing with some of your team games, it seems like. So Dizzy Heights, as we said, is one of the first ones you're going to compete in. And because of this, you'll often have to push ahead of large crowds. So this one, it always kind of starts everyone at a finish line or starting line together as big groups. So you're just going to have to kind of pay attention to where the crowd is and kind of your positioning. If you get up front, it's a good thing for you. They say always follow the arrow direction indicated on the spinning platform. So you're going to race through. There's these little spinning platforms. You want to follow those and kind of jump into them. And sometimes they'll be kind of rotating opposite of each other. So that's one strategy. They say avoid the yellow bumpers early on at all costs, as they'll push you back onto the spinning platforms, which then will throw you back even further. When you reach the long gauntlet of rolling balls, always be looking ahead to spot which avenues are clear and which have incoming hazards. Usually it's like balls or something that's fallen through down the ramp. Falling down from the second group of spinning platforms isn't game over, especially when so many can qualify on that first round. Usually it seems like that first round's about 40 or so people get in. Sometimes like 39 if you got a smaller group.
Okay.
When you run up to the slope leading to the last part of the course, be careful timing your jump to large moving sections, as sometimes your character will make a small hop clearing the top of the slope, which can mess you up whenever you're trying to jump across the gap. I did this on one of the games. I thought I made it to the finish line. It was right there, but the way the camera was angled, it doesn't show you there's a jump there, so I just fell to my death. So that was awesome.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that really hurt my feelings. The next game on the list is Hit Parade. Hit Parade is one of the more likely rounds you're going to encounter as well. It's designed to weed out the unworthy with a deluge of obstacles and perilous jumps, though you won't be able to fall to a permanent end. It says here, don't falter, start the race. If you happen to be placed in front, you'll have an easier time crossing, but you should aim for them regardless. It says here the section with the turnstiles is probably the only area where going with the crowd actually helps, as it will help you push through quicker. So they have these little turnstiles that are like, I think when you go to the mall, you have the little spinning doors that you go through. Yeah. That's kind of what it is. And
so the more people you have, the easier it pushes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right. Makes sense.
It says not everyone will realize that large gate at the end of the turnstiles has 2 spots on the far left and right that open up when the center becomes closed. So you want to be aware of that. It says here, once you reach the slime slope at the end, avoid the obstacles at all costs, even if it means going sideways or slowing for a bit, as they'll bounce you back in the opposite direction. Now we're going to go on to Seesaw Tips. This is another game that involves large crowds. You're going to be usually the beginning games. This is basically, you have these seesaws that you have to run across.
Okay.
And based on where the groups and stuff are running, that's you're gonna have to pick your side, which side you want to get to, and then you gotta kind of jump to the other end. Depending on a lot of factors, the round can either be incredibly easy or incredibly frustrating, as the platform stability is always determined by the crowd. A lot of times you'll come to seesaw that's already wildly skewed to one side, and it's important to realize when you try to climb, you will just waste your time. A lot of seesaws are placed right before checkpoints, so look for blue flags for your checkpoints. And since you'll often be slowly climbing up the checkpoint platform on a skewed seesaw, be sure and look for opportunities to jump and dive over the railing to the next platform, saving you precious seconds otherwise spent slowly walking up the slope. Other players can and will take advantage if you try to act as a counterbalance. so they can come over and grab you, do different things.
Mm-hmm.
At the final group of seesaws, be sure to survey your landing spot on the platform leading you to the goals, as some players have been known to try to grab people and push them off the leaping slopes as they're falling. So be aware of that. The next one on the list is DoorDash.
Okay.
I played this one. This one's pretty frustrating. You may already seen it on the video that I have playing in the background. But basically, you start the race off, and there's these pink doors that are striped, white stripes. You're going to have to push through those. It says here, depending on your positioning at the start of the round, you can either try to be a trailblazer and try to discover the real doors, or play it safe and hang just a few steps behind the runners to see if you can pivot. When approaching a congested door full of bodies, you may have better luck taking a deep diving leap over their head. So in the game, there is an option to dive forward. So you can.
So you got a bunch of those doors, and only certain ones bust open.
Right. And,
Okay,
you'll have congestion of all these players, like 30 players in one spot. Well, probably not getting through that one. Each real door will break apart and send debris spilling to the next section. Depending on your moves, this may end up hindering you, making you trip if you get caught. So yeah, the debris affects you as well. Only one of the final doors is real. If you're the first one, it may be better to try the center one, as you'll be able to pivot to either side. It just gives you more options. So if you pick that far left one or that far right one, you're kind of screwed if the more center ones are open, So just kind of give yourself options. They say always jump and dive through the final door, as you want to put as much space between you and the other players all falling down in the final stretch. And that's it on that. Gate crash tips. They say here at the start of the race. Well, first off, the way this works is gate crash is the other side of the coin to DoorDash, and features a long course of raising and falling gates that you'll need to cross over. So this is the same concept, except you're going to have these gates that are just moving up and down at different times and can actually block you off. It says at the start of this race, 2 gates on the side will raise and lower before the middle one does. So you want to make sure your positioning and jump time is correct on that, or you'll get blocked out. Once you have an idea of your speed and how long it takes to reach the next gate, you can start to look for which gates have already raised up, which ones have not. So this is just a time game as you're running through. You're just timing out these doors. Says here, once you reach the slime slope, try and target the gate that's fully extended up or close to it, as it's likely going to be closing or almost closed by the time you get to the bottom of the jump. And
so they don't randomly close; they pump up and down at the same pace. Yep. Gotcha.
This next one is the whirligig. The whirligig is another front runner for a likely first round. It's a deceptively simple race, which will allow you to weed out contestants quickly unless you know what you're doing. The biggest threat at the start is timing your jumps to the spinning obstacles, and the second biggest threat is all players who don't react fast enough. So this just has this little swivel arm that moves around like a clock would, but it goes at a fast pace, and you're on the clock. You got to jump it.
So it's just like that game they always have in that old, that Chinese show. And they're on the platforms and the little wheels spinning around. Yeah. Wipeout. Is that what it's called? Wipeout.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Exactly like that. They say make sure the yellow conveyor belt. It says make sure you use the yellow conveyor belt to get speed boost for running jump to the 2 yellow blocks. You can use this to jump to the first whirligig. Try and aim for the left sides of the whirligig gates. That's better chance of getting knocked slightly forward into the right post rather than getting knocked off or completely to the side. So sometimes you can time it to where it kind of gives you a boost in the butt, kind of throws you forward. It says here in the final push, the center path may seem a bit risky with the fast whirligig, but at best you'll get a straight shot to the finish, and at worst you'll either get tripped up and hit the checkpoint, or get knocked to one of the rightmost platforms and either get up or fall down, but it's still respawn at the checkpoint. And then it says keep your field of view panning for any spinning hazards coming up from behind, especially at the last standing platforms. And then now we're going to do slime climb, guys. Slime climb. It's time for the slime climb. I think of Nickelodeon when I say that.
That's the one that went into Rocket League.
Yep.
Rocket League slime climb.
Yeah.
I think that's the video that's on right now. Maybe is slime climb. It's a little platform in the middle with slime on it that's hard to climb up.
No, different.
Okay. Just guessing.
The slime is in a lot of the different.
Yeah, they use it on different parts of the map.
Okay.
Though it's listed as a race, the qualifying numbers are incredibly forgiving and will change as people are eliminated. You can actually bounce off the first 2 bumpers below the first row of moving blocks, and it can help you get a head start and put you ahead of the crowd, jostling for space between the blocks. It's actually possible to grab onto the sides of the moving blocks and pull yourself up, which can let you hop across them rather than moving in between. The second moving blocks have pits in between them, but you can actually jump up from the first pit and save time rather than running around the long corner. Note that the second moving block moves at a regular pace. You'll want to make sure you can move across both without getting pushed, and getting pushed down from the second block can be fatal. It says here, as you can get to the slime-covered areas near the top, avoid the edges at all costs. Given how slippery the areas are, it won't take much to bounce right off the edge. That's an extremely hard one for me. It gave me a lot of issues. But it does have the slime there at the end. Just a lot of different little obstacles there. It will drive you crazy. All right, guys.
I haven't even gotten that one yet, so...
So we're at Fruit Shoot now.
Fruit shooting boogie.
Fruit shooting. Fruit Shoot is pure chaos distilled into the simplest form. A running gauntlet against hordes of giant, delicious, bouncing balls. Your competitors are double-edged swords here. On one hand, getting too close to the other players runs the risk that they'll collide into you and hit if you get hit by an object and send you tumbling down with them. The center of the conveyor belt is extremely hazardous, as it is where the bulk of the fruit tumble, as well as fast-moving logs that can come rocketing down. It's another hard one. Once you get close enough to the top, you can leap the last few feet and dive to spend less time running out of the conveyor belt. So that's just kind of a simple gamer tip to get through it. It's a fairly straightforward map. We got rollout here. This perfectly encapsulates. There we go. The classic log rolling survival game with the added bonus of large gaps and barriers to keep you on your toes. Whenever possible, try to avoid jumping and or diving during this round. It only increases your chance of stumbling and falling over to the side. So this is the rolling logs, Ryan, if you can think of like trying to walk across a log that spins.
It was actually, it's just on here. We just missed it.
It also says always pan your camera around back and forth to see the sections of the platform that are coming up, both on your current platform and the one that you're moving to. Generally speaking, there are 2 big strategies to consider. Find 2 flat platforms to walk between and keep things simple, or constantly being on the move, going from one end of the log to the other.
Okay.
Parts of the moving platform will have large walls. When they first appear coming up from below, they can effectively be used as safety net when trying to get to the next platform. And remember that unlike Block Party, rollout only ends when enough people have fallen. So this is a survival technique, not necessarily a race.
I got you. Yeah, it's not about beating somebody there. It's about staying alive.
Right. So it has an appointed amount of people it wants to die off before it moves to the next round. Block Party will show you a hole in the wall, and you constantly dashing back and forth to escape certain doom and race down the clock. Unlike Rollout, Block Party counts both eliminations and the clock, though you're more likely to run out of time before players. Try standing somewhat close to the front and tilt your camera in a way that lets you see below your position. That way you can see which blocks will appear and move accordingly well before they reach you. Don't underestimate
That's
the
be
low
what we're
hazard.
watching right now, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
This is it. Says don't underestimate the low hazard's ability to trip you up, even carry you all the way off the edge. Space is important here. If you notice any players getting overly grabby, most times they'll only try to stop you from jumping. As long as they value their own self-preservation, you should have time to move afterwards. And it also says here, in rare instances, a few long column blocks may appear, followed by a lengthwise block at the back if in an effort to box you in and push you off. So it just says always be aware. Okay. Perfect match tips. This is another one. One of the more subdued rounds. Perfect match is all about stepping on the right panel to match the fruit displayed before the other panel disappears. I've not played this one.
Okay. Yeah, it's like a matching game.
Is it? Okay. It says contrary to how Arena looks, you don't need to jump between panels despite the gap. You can walk or even stand between panels in the time leading to their removal. Try to position yourself at cross sections of different fruit panels so they easily remember which direction to step and which times to come. Avoid trying to leap to the correct panel if others are already on it, and you can gain an advantage by playing the group of up to 4 and communicate while stepping on different fruits. So that'd be a good one for us. We could coordinate on that one. You also have Tail Tag and Royal Fumble tips. Both are a team and solo sport, so you're going to have to wrestle away the limited quantities of tails for yourself. And they just say here, well, one thing, you can grab them if you want to be douchey. You can grab them from your teammates. I didn't know that. So it says, like many team rounds, how you do may not even affect how your team fares in the end. But there are ways to give your team the winning edge. Everyone has the same running speed, so in order to catch someone, you need to cut corners or break off and anticipate their moves to cut off escape routes. Holding down grab will slow your run speed. Only use it when you have to.
Okay.
I didn't know that. If you already have tail for your team and see a team member chasing someone else, hold them down by grabbing onto them for your teammate to get the tail. And then get out of there. Each tail matches have one thing in common. Nothing matters until the last 30 seconds. Both tail tags and Royal Fumble have different map layouts. It's worth getting to know them both. It's kind of an arena style, Ryan.
Right.
So you're just kind of running around this little square map arena and trying to steal each other's
just trying
tails.
to grab each other's tails. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tag basically. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like flag football in a way. I mean, you're just trying to snatch it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then you have fall balls. This is a rock'em sock'em soccer match. Here they just say every team needs a goalie, so no matter what, make sure you have one. Jumping and or diving to headbutt the ball can give a significant boost, but it will also stun you for a few minutes, or a few moments, I should say. So that gives the opponent the advantage. So they just say be real careful with that. Offense can be just as important as defense, so can interference. So it's just saying you can grab other players, interrupt them, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So that one's pretty self-explanatory to playing soccer. So
right.
You know, yeah, not a huge difference there. Let's see here. The next one, we got rock and roll tips. This is another team-based ball-centric round. Rock and roll will see which team can shove the ball down the hole first. Unfortunately, not a lot can go wrong with the round that you can't predict or even help correct. Once you push your ball to the last section, it's be a free-for-all to the slope down to the goal. If you think your team has your own ball covered or coordinating, you can also inflict the same frustration on others by moving to block other teams progressing to stand in their path. So you could actually hop the lane and go over. And I've never tried that because I've just really didn't think of it as being an option.
So a lot of times I see them blocking it when you get down past the lanes.
Mm-hmm.
Like in that last slope, there's no walls, so then you just run over and try to block somebody else's ball.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Egg scramble. This is another one. How it works is you have 3 teams, blue, yellow, red, and each team has a corner or a basket on the map, and you try to grab all the eggs you can and take them back to your basket. The team with the most eggs at the end of the time limit wins the game.
Okay, so just don't be yellow team. I get it.
Yeah, pretty much. And the way elimination works on this, you want to be top 2 teams. So you don't want to be last.
Or not yellow.
Mm-hmm. So they say, remember that you don't have to explicitly win this round. Your team just has to not come in last, like we just said. Gold eggs are worth 5 points each. Prioritize these if possible, but don't waste the whole match trying to get one of them into your basket. That's good to know. So gold eggs. If you already have gold eggs in your coop, you can literally babysit them by holding on to them or pushing them under you to fend off others that are trying to steal
so people can steal from your basket.
Yeah, you're constantly running back and forth from the It's a fight. It's a fight them out kind of steal because all the eggs are in the center of the map, and people run out and get them, take them back, and then as you allocate, then other teams start coming into your place, and so you gotta decide who's on defense.
This game is built around chaos. That's for sure. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. What up, Blondie? Blondie Locks 33. Welcome to the stream. Let's see here. If you already have golden eggs, that's where I read that. To save time, look for the spinning mallets that can help knock in eggs into your base for you, letting you drop them and go back to the fray earlier. Similarly, standing on the ledge of your base is a good way to defend it. Letting other players waste time trying to pick up eggs and jump up only for you to block their escape and toss any eggs they drop straight back in. So that's it.
Okay.
That's pretty self-explanatory. We have hoarders. This is a lot like egg scramble, except the eggs are giant volleyballs, and there's not a lot of room to keep them safe from other teams.
Is it a team game too? Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
So just like egg scramble, you don't have to be first. You just can't afford to be last. And if it comes down to stealing from other teams, take the balls from their team that are already hurting to give yourself a better chance of staying in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, even if you can't get them back to your nest, you can just throw them out of theirs, right? I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm trying to see if I understand the game.
Yeah, you got it, bro. You got it. Says here, don't get too comfortable when you're up by several points. Similar to tail, tag, and egg scramble, the odds can change very rapidly in a few moments. So don't let your guard up on that.
Gotcha.
Next one is Hoopsie Daisy. I haven't played this one. It says here it's a tricky team battle, which will require you and your crew to jump, hop, and dive through more floating hoops than the other teams to win. Overcrowding can lead to your downfall. It can become easy to find yourself in a constant state of hopelessly chasing down hoops that other players are closer to. Hoops can appear on all sides of the raised slopes and offer a vantage point that can be good for scoping out overlooked hoops. Though tricky, if you know you won't be able to reach a hoop and are right behind a player, you can try running interference and grabbing onto them until one of your teammates can swoop in to jump through the loop on your behalf. So that's pretty cool.
Okay.
If a hoop appears next to the ramp, even on the low side, it can likely only be dived through from higher ground. Some players may try to approach it from the ground, but if you race around to the slope first, you can reach it.
I saw one that looked like the they jumped on each other's head to get through it too. Can you do that? Is that something, or am I crazy? When I was watching that video a minute ago, it seemed like there was one of those hoops and a bunch of people were trying to get through it, and all of a sudden one guy just double jumped off somebody's head and went through it.
Yeah, you could. I mean, technically, if you're using the physics. Next, we have Jinxed. This is an ultimate form of zombie tag. Avoid the infected unless you've become one, in which case tag all opposing targets to win. So when the round starts, only one player of each team is jinxed. Use this time to try and scope out which enemy is jinxed and keep your distance to keep down the infected or the jinx. You can also provide defense for your team once jinxed by blocking and protecting teammates who aren't jinxed, grabbing and pushing them back to give your allies the chance to run. Certain areas of the arena provide limited access. As long as you plan your escape accordingly, you can try waiting until it's somewhat safe. So that's just map awareness and some luck, I think, on that. Here we go. Tiptoe. To pass Tiptoe Challenge, you must walk the true path, and to find it before the rest of your competitors do, or fall off to your doom. Now, Hunter, is this the one where you hop? Little octagon?
This is just no. That's a hex something. This one is actually like a false floor type thing, though.
Okay.
Where there's only one path there's kind of, I think there's a couple paths, but you have to walk on them. If you walk on the correct tile, it lights up, and that's how you know that it is the right tile. And then the other ones, you just fall straight through. So, and then the tiles, if there hasn't been somebody on them quite recently, they stop glowing. So it's not just like it stays.
Okay,
that makes sense. You have to memorize it, kind of.
Gotcha. So a lot of these games are making me think of my daughter. We've talked about it before on the show. She played Roblox for a while, and in Roblox, there's a lot of obstacle maps that people set up within Roblox, and they, the kids just love that too. So it sounds like they pulled a lot of things from things they saw that were working, and it makes sense why these guys are doing well. I think my daughter would love this game. Now we're talking about it. I'm thinking, yep, she'd have a blast playing that. Oh
yeah, it's a lot of fun. A lot of as you can tell, there's a lot of maps too. So the Tiptoe Challenge, basically the gist of it is you want to keep a fast pace. You don't want to be hanging too far back. They say don't be fooled by different shaded tiles or those that are slightly raised or lowered. The only indication you'll ever get of a false tile is the slight rumble that you might spot from time to time. And then it says correct tiles will only turn a brighter shade from limited time. Do your best to memorize the locations. And this is the one, I think I know what this one is.
They're turning a bright shade from somebody landing on them? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You're kind of paying attention to what's going on around you.
So this is kind of like how in the door one, you kind of want to follow the leader, but not very many steps back. It's kind of the same way here, because if you make the wrong move at the end of the route, then everybody else only needs to figure out two more keys, and then they're there, and then you're at the end of the line again, and you're not going to qualify.
Right.
Yeah, you're starting all over. So as you get closer to the end, people are likely to huddle up and start pushing and shoving to get someone to test the next space. Make sure you're not one of them unless you're willing to risk the fall. You can jump the gap of one tile, which you can use to create shortcuts if they are found. That's it on that one.
Okay.
Man, I just want to download the game after this and play a little bit. Jump Club tips. Like a classic Mario Party minigame, Jump Club will have you hopping for your life to survive a grueling gauntlet of avoiding spinning logs as you get faster and faster. Think of Arena like a clock, with two hands spinning clockwise at different speeds. The more people you're stuck with in this stage, the harder things will get. It's easy to get crowded by other people who try and stop you from jumping and ragdoll into you and mess you up. They say try to stand near the center of the length of the platform. On rare occasions, sections of circular platform may begin to slowly crumble and fall. Keep a lookout for any shaking sections to know if this will happen. And it also says move to a different section as fast as you can.
Okay.
Then we got Fall Mountain.
A lot to remember if you haven't played the game.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Oh,
if
yeah.
you've played the game, these tips are making more sense to you. If you haven't, like me, you're going, okay, I'm getting a little bit of the gist of this and this. And then as soon as you start playing, you're going to go, oh, that's what he was talking about.
It's like, oh, it's all
that's
bad.
what he was talking about. Yep.
Fall Mountain. One of the three finales. Fall Mountain is a simple race to the finish line to see who can avoid the torrent of hazards to grab the floating crown at the top. This stage is short as it is painful, and unfortunately this means it's very hard to make a comeback unless all the other players equally suffer. So this one punishes you a little more. Not every player will make it to the top, and when they do, they may not remember you need to grab and hold on to the crown to win, as Hunter was mentioning earlier. When going up to the first part of the slope, alternate between the inside and outer routes. When possible, to duck around both the incoming balls and turnstiles. Avoid getting hit. When you reach the spinning mallets, aim to the left of the ones spinning clockwise or the right of the ones spinning counterclockwise.
Okay.
And that's all they have on that. Grab your crown. Take your place as champion of the Fall Guys. All right, hexagon tips. Here we go. This is another finale. This is the one I was talking about, where you're stepping out onto these hexagons.
Platform on platform.
Yeah, it's a stacked platform, and you're just trying to out-survive the other players.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it's a toughie. A lot of this match is all about trying your best to stick to a plan and adapting when that plan inevitably falls apart.
So you're on tiles that fall out underneath you when you step on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
So that's what this one is.
And as
So
you
you
fall
have to
through
keep moving.
you're falling through the tiles of hell.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the 7 layers of hell or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it
And
is
if you
right here.
fall all the way through the platforms, you'll hit the slime, which then you're eliminated.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
You always want to keep your camera panning to see what's below you if you can. Duh. Early on, try to carve out a section of hexagons for yourself, running in giant circles or sections to create a barrier of at least 2 hexagon spaces so others can't run near you. Pretty smart.
Yeah.
Blocking yourself off from them, right?
And then you can just on all the ones you have with no interruption. I like it.
If you can help it, try not to jump or dive when you know you'll be going down a level, as it will cause you to stumble when reaching the lower platform. That said, you can always cross a gap of 1 hexagon tile with a jump and a 2-space gap if you jump and dive, but you'll need to be careful with your timing. If another player starts to run alongside you in an attempt to cut you off, look for escape routes to veer off to. You don't want to get stuck trailing someone, as you'll be fighting and losing battle. If you're ahead of them, try to force them up towards a gap that you can render uncrossable by jumping over first.
Mm-hmm.
If you're at the bottom tier with another player and you know it's down to you two, try to take things slow as you can. Even when you run out of room, jump at the very last moment and then dive to get that much more airtime. Sometimes that's the only thing you can do to secure a win. So, do you know what he means by that? Just at the end,
I think he's saying you'll hang in the air before falling a little bit longer. So basically, the guy right with you might hit the slime before you, but even if it's just slightly.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And that's it. That's all I got on Fall Guys, guys. Woo!
Nice. Hey, that was
That's
quick.
it?
You know, there was nothing. You didn't give us much.
No, not at all.
I had to move fast, baby.
Hey, you did. You burned through it, but you had to burn through it. There's a lot of different kind of maps and mini games. I mean, it's a mini game. How do you give tips on a mini game fast? That's how it goes.
Yep. That's the way it is. Blondie Locks 33. Yes, we are dads, and yes, we are on purpose. She did say, or he did say, just kidding, LOL. That's okay. We forgive you, and we love being dads, but thank you for the feedback. Well, guys, it was a good show. It was fun.
I enjoyed it. I want to check out Fall Guys now.
Yep. It was a Fall Guys special mixed in with Epic's funeral. It was great.
Hopefully not.
Oh, no, you're right. Epic's on the ice in the ICU bed on a vent. I got you.
Yeah, it's true.
We haven't got confirmation that we're pulling the plug just yet.
Right.
Gotcha.
Which
is crazy that we're even talking about that, right? I mean,
there's a cold war going on between Apple and.
Yeah. Now I've got people in the chat saying, "Hopping on Warzone, bro."
Somebody's trying to drop the nuke.
Hey, are you catching the Cold War hint?
Yes.
I don't think Clint caught it. I'm looking at his face. I think Clint just says I get it, right? Like a lot of times. I know you think the same thing, don't you, Hunter? You watch him. What he says is like, obviously he didn't react. And then we ask him, and he's like, "Yeah, I got it."
Yeah,
it's like, no, you didn't catch it. Yeah.
So we're gonna call Clint out right here live on the podcast.
Yeah, for sure. I know what's happening sometimes is Clint's watching the chat. You know, he's got a little bit more to manage over there. Me and you just get to have fun when we do the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
He's got all that going on,
and
so it's like it's the auto response. Oh yeah, but nothing. He don't know.
That's what I do. That's what I do to the general public. You know.
Yeah,
but my besties
you need to pay attention to our listeners. That's important.
Yeah, I need to just hire someone to be our moderator. You know, help us out there.
Oh yeah, just throw some money at somebody, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all the money. I don't have enough yet.
Hey, me and you will be rich soon. You know what I mean? I don't know about Hunter. I think he's already rich, but me and you will get there.
Hunter's rich in the spirit, baby. Look at him down there, Tom Cruise.
I'm rich in everything, guys.
Hey, don't forget to give us your money.
Never stress.
Patreon. I know we keep saying we'll have products soon. I've got so much going on in my life right now, and so does Hunter because of all this pandemic stuff, and so does Clint because he's a nurse and all this pandemic stuff. And so so you guys know, it's not that we're not trying to get the products ready. We're just in kind of a crazy crunch time in life. All of us.
Yep. It was like, hey, how you doing? Karate chop to the throat.
Mm-hmm.
No gulag. You're stuck.
Gulag time's over. This death is final.
Yep. And I'm freaking out like I do in the game, just looking up at the sky, spinning around in circles. You know, what's going on, man? For me, it's the Claire Bear has started pre-K, and I am the one taking her every day. And and Mom's doing class, like doing her own school stuff, and then doing work school. And with Corona, having to change kids' schedules constantly because every day they went up or down or whatever. I don't know. So it's been wild.
Your wife's moved to a new position, and everything's. That's what I'm saying. There's just so much going on right now.
Yep. But hey, we're staying with the times, bro. We just haven't got you them shirts made yet.
Yep. Stay delirious.
Stay dadding.
And stay gaming.
It's the long, skinny one on the right. Click it.
This has been a Delirious Dads production. For more information about the show, visit our website at www.deliriousdadsgaming.com. You can also find us on facebook.com/deliriousdadsgaming, twitch.tv, and YouTube. Make sure you like and share our pages to help us grow the channel. You can listen to the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify. Please leave a rating and review if you enjoy the show. Thank you again for listening, and we hope to see you next time.